By the way I am dressed, you already know that I am not a Jew. I am a Roman soldier, a centurion in fact. That means that I used to be in charge of a detachment of soldiers. Nowadays you might call me a captain. I did not follow the Jewish customs. On the other hand, I personally had nothing against their religious practices. We, the Romans, had many gods to call upon in times of need. Before entering into battle, many of us would call upon Mars, the god of war. One day, I was in a situation where I needed help, not for myself, but for one of my servants who was very sick. He was very devoted to me. In fact, he was my favorite servant. I had heard of the healer from Nazareth. I knew that the man had cured so many different people from all kinds of diseases. People even said that his power was so great that he could raise the dead. I thought of going to see him to plead for my servant, for I didn't want him to die. Of course I was wondering if he, Jesus, would even listen to me, or if he would look down on me, a pagan. By and large, the Jews didn't like us, Roman soldiers. We were seen as the army of occupation. You know what that means. But I had nothing to lose, and I wanted to save my servant. I had heard that Jesus had arrived in Cana of Galilee, a place where I was told he had changed water into wine. I thought, a man who can do such things must be very powerful indeed. So I decided to go from Capernaum, a place where I was stationed, to go and ask Jesus to save my servant. But then, on second thoughts, I said to myself, better send someone to speak in my name. I had some friends amongst the elders of the Jews, because I had had a synagogue built for them. So you could say that, in a way, they owed me a favor. They accepted to go and see Jesus in my name, and without hesitation, Jesus followed them on the way to my place. But as they approached my house, I sent some friends with a message for Jesus. I was aware of some of the religious practices and rules of the Jews, and I knew that if a Jew came into my house, the house of a pagan, he would become impure and would have to undergo some ritual purification afterwards. I did not want Jesus to go through that. So I sent my friends and told them the very words they should speak to Jesus. I told them to say, "Sir, do not trouble yourself, for I am not worthy to receive you under my roof. It is for that same reason that I did not dare to come and see you myself. But only say a word, and my servant shall be healed. For I am under authority myself, and I have soldiers under my command. When I say to a man, 'Go,' he goes. To another, 'Come here,' he comes. To my servant, 'Do this,' he does it." Yes, I had prepared my words well. I wanted that man, Jesus, to know that I respected him. I also wanted him to know that I really believed in his healing powers. In my mind it was very clear that if I myself could give orders to my soldiers, then Jesus could order the disease to go away and it would obey him. I was certain of that. It would leave my servant forever. Later the report came to me that the people I had sent had spoken my message exactly in the way I had actually told them to. And apparently Jesus was surprised. He was astonished, I was told. Apparently, he had never seen a faith such as mine, not even in his own country of Israel, among his own people. You can imagine that I did not expect that reaction at all. Jesus was praising me, a pagan, in front of a whole group of Jews. I guess some of them must have been quite upset. Jesus added that because of my faith, my servant would be cured. And he was, at the very moment when Jesus spoke the words. I later checked with my messengers that I had sent, and they told me that at the very hour when Jesus said those words, my servant was cured. I often think of that day. When I look around, I often wonder why people don't do just the way as I did. I find it a little strange. So many people say they believe in Jesus and yet don't dare ask him what they need. Don't you find it a bit surprising? A man with such power, who only asks one thing from us, that we believe in his power. Yes, it is that simple. And if you've ever tried to ask that man for something, you must know what I'm talking about. It is that simple.